Ladies and gentlemen,
howdy folks, and welcome to Disney Sport Wilderness Resort. Thanks for sailing with us.
All ashore that's going ashore.
Have a great visit.
Well, Margaret, here we are at Disney World Campgrounds.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the Fort Wilderness Podcast. My name is Art, and we are standing here in front of one of two swimming pools that you can find here. This is the Meadows swimming pool with an arcade, a concession stand, a kid's splash pad, and also a big slide. Right next to it is a playground and a tennis court. And sometimes right here in this spot, you'll see a Disney food truck that also visits Chippendales Campfire Sing-Along every night. And speaking of Chippendale, we're going to be visiting with Riley a little bit later on. She's going to give us the movies for the month of June. Also, we're going to be visiting with Dawn and Ray, our happy campers that we sat down and interviewed with. But to start things off, we're going to visit with Reese as she gives us a tour of the 200 Loop.
Next up is how do you get to? This is the part of the show when we're going to give you a tour of Fort Wilderness. Today we're going to take you to the 200 Loop of the campgrounds called Palmetto Path. As you pick up your golf cart at the front entrance, you'll be heading down Fort Wilderness Trail, the main street of the park. We'll take this street all the way through the campgrounds and we'll see a lot of things along the way. First thing you'll pass is the turn for the 2200 through 2800 cabins. We'll visit those on a different episode. Next up on your right is the hitch and unhitch area. People that pull behind an extra vehicle with their RV usually stop here to unhook. If nobody is here and you have people in your cars or a bus behind you, this is a good place to pull in so they can pass you. Next up is the four-way stop sign that can take you to many different places. You'll see the sign with all the arrows and you can see that it's telling us to turn right to the 200s. We recommend continuing straight if this is your first visit so that you can see a few things. Continuing on straight, you'll see signs for the 12, 11, and 1300 streets and all of their bus stops. If you get behind a bus, you might have to wait, but not very long. These buses keep a tight schedule. And as a friendly reminder, you cannot pass a bus on the road at any time. Next, you'll be passing the center of the map at Fort Wilderness, with the 1000s on the left and the Meadows Trading Post on the right. If you're staying in the 200s, this is not the supply store for you. You've got one right next to your site. However, this is the location of the Meadow swimming pool and a place to rent bicycles, so keep that in mind for later. Continuing on Fort Wilderness Trail, you'll pass other streets and bus stops for 900, 800, 600, and 700 before coming to our final four-way stop sign. To get to the 200s, you will turn right here. Only Disney buses can turn left. After that, you will turn left on the next street at Bay Tree Lane and then turn right to enter the 200s called Palmetto Path. Right away, you'll see a basketball hoop on the left and the comfort station on the right. This is the one comfort station that you will share with the 100s. Because of its proximity to the back of the park, the 200s are considered a preferred site, which means you also have power, water, cable, and free internet. There's no need for a bus ride to the beach or the settlement trading post because you're already there. Getting a site in the 200s is great for those of you that tried to get in the 100s but couldn't get in because it was booked. The 200s are right next door on the same side of the street as the 100s. Book your trip as early as possible and make a request if you like being this close to the back of Fort Wilderness. You'll notice as we drive around the 200 Loop that there are a few spots that back up to the water if you're looking for a view of the canal. If you're staying in the 200s, walk next door to the 100s and you'll enjoy the sidewalk that takes you right to Pioneer Hall, the Settlers Trading Post, the beach, and the boat dock. That's all for How Do We Get To the 200s. Look for us next month as we discover another location. And now we take it over to Riley for the movie schedule.
Welcome to Chippendales Campfire Sing-Along, where you can roast marshmallows, sing songs, and watch your favorite Disney movies. After a long day of Disney excitement, it's time to sit and relax into the stars for one of your favorite movies. Each month, a list of films is released so that you can plan the nights here at the Chippendale Campfire Sing-Along Show. When the list comes out, we'll be sure to let you know. The movie list comes out on the first of every month, and we can tell you for this week that you can see the 1953's classic Peter Pan on Saturday, June 2nd. Sunday night is the Pixar hit Finding Nemo. Monday the 4th will bring you Aladdin from 1992. The Rookie from 2002, starring Dennis Quaid, will be seen on Tuesday, June 5th. Wednesday will be Bull, and Thursday, June 7th, will be the 2015 live-action film Cinderella. Friday night, look for Wreck-It Ralph, which has a sequel coming out this summer. And speaking of sequels, check out The Incredibles on Saturday, June 9th, before The Incredibles 2 comes out in June 15th, to theaters all across the world. That's all for now. I'll see you again next month at Chippendales with a list of films for July.
Thanks, Riley. Now for the next portion of the show, we're speaking with Dawn and Ray. These are our first interviews for the very first episode. They are here at Fort Wilderness. We're in the 200s now, right? All right, so tell us a little bit about what it is you guys do. What is it you're doing here today, actually?
Well, today we are setting up a camper. We have a client, a family coming in, and they are renting a camper. And that's another option. Camping at Disney, if you don't own a camper, you can rent a camper.
So for people who are not quite sure about campers yet, they want to go out and buy one. Is this one too big or is this one too small? The idea is that they should probably come to you, rent one for a nice weekend or a long week or whatever, and see if they like it and get a feel for it.
Absolutely.
Is that something you see where people kind of just get a feel for it and then they end up purchasing?
We do. We actually had lots of families that have tried it once, and they left Fort Wilderness and went out and bought a camper the same day.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
Quite a few, actually.
So what is your history here with Fort Wilderness? Do you have sort of a history here?
As a family, we've been coming, we're from Massachusetts originally, and we've been coming to Fort Wilderness with our family in our RV since 2004. We normally were coming every Christmas for about 2 weeks, so it's our Christmas tradition.
How long will you stay at Christmas time?
2 weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks. So you're already familiar with the fact that the Christmas lights and all the decorating and stuff like that. Is that something you partake in as well? You like to decorate?
Yes.
Yep, we still come, and we used to do a lot of decorations and enter the contest and have a lot of fun.
Do you have a particular loop you like to stay in?
Our favorite was always the 600 loop.
600.
There's a lot of decorating that goes on in the 600 loop?
Yes.
Is that the one where somebody has like the corner lot? And then they kind of they decorate on all sides.
By the road, the last loop.
By the road, yeah. Is that the 600s? Or is that close to?
All the corner lots, it seems 600, 700, 800, they kind of grab the corners. 1600 has probably the largest one. That one I think has been there the longest.
That's something we like to do as well. We'll go and just tour around here at Christmas time or get on the hay ride. They do the hay rides and people walk through. So when you're here at Fort Wilderness, what is it you like to do?
It's we have other families that come with us, friends that live in Florida, relatives that travel from Massachusetts, so we just like to get together. Christmas time, we usually have a Christmas Eve dinner where the three of us all get together and we cook steak and potatoes. That's really fun. We like to go on carriage ride. We love Chippendales sing-along. Even as an adult, we did it with our children, and we still go every time we come.
You like to stay for the movies?
Yep.
Very good, very good.
I'm particularly fond of the hoop-de-doo. We love to go to the hoop-de-doo, and it's so nice when you're camping because you can enjoy the hoop-de-doo and then just walk back to your camper.
And if you're in the 100s or 200s like we are today, if you listen carefully, you'll hear them ring the bell and say, come and get it, I believe. We heard it the other day when we were here, and the lady came out, she rang the little triangle, she said, come and get it. We heard it from the 100s clearly. It's like, boy, I wish we had a reservation because that actually sounds kind of good right now because you know what it's like inside there when it comes to the food. Do you, when you come here, do you like to stay in one of these?
Well, we usually stay in this particular one of late because this is one of my favorites. It's one of our older ones, but it's one of our favorites.
Give us a description of what this is and what size it is.
Well, this is a fifth wheel unit, different than the travel trailer type, and we have both. But this is a fifth wheel unit, so it gives you taller ceilings, a little different layout. It gives you a more privacy in your front master bedroom. Where a travel trailer will be similar, but not the ceilings won't be as tall. And people have preferences. Some people, as you were mentioning earlier, that are going to buy, they would say, well, I don't know if I'd like a fifth wheel or I'd like a travel trailer, so they'll rent one or maybe one of each on different occasions. and it helps them to make the decision of which their family would like.
For a unit of this size, what family size do you recommend? What sizes can you go up to?
Well, this particular one is called the bunkhouse, which means it has bunks in the back, 4 bunks in the back. So this, they say, will sleep 10. So
10?
we advertise it as 10. Comfortably, you know, it'll probably sleep 6. To sleep to 10, you have to convert the dinette into a bed.
So if you've got younger kids and even older kids and extra family members, you could do 10 here if you wanted to. Very, very good.
And this is the beauty of renting a camper. If you have a large family, a lot of the hotels on property, you have to rent 2 rooms to fit your entire family. Whereas the campsites, you can fit, Disney allows up to 10, and the campers fit 10. So it's a little, a different price point, probably a little bit cheaper than renting 2 rooms at one of the value motels.
What other sizes do you offer when it comes to trailers for people who want to rent?
All our campers, we try to call them family friendly. They all will have bunk rooms. They'll all fit large families. They go from 30 to 40 feet. So it depends on what size you want it. All Disney sites will accommodate our campers.
Yeah. What is like the one luxury item like you bought for yourself that you kind of are glad that you have?
I like the fire pit. It's very simple, very inexpensive, but in the evening you sit by the fire. It changes the character of, I think, or it makes it more of what you think of when you think of camping.
And Disney's got a list out that'll tell you exactly the types of fire pits you're allowed to bring, because there are some do's and don'ts when it comes to that. You can't be like the one at Creekside Meadow and you bring a big barrel, and no, you can't do that. So there are specific ones that they allow you to have. What is the one must-have when it comes to camping that you always bring with you?
The Mickey Mouse waffle maker.
Ah, that's a perfect example. The Mickey
Which
Mouse
all our
waffle
campers have Mickey Mouse waffle makers for the families to enjoy.
And you know, when I was talking with you earlier online, you said how you kind of Disneyify the insides of the trailers and the outside as well. Do you have any other examples of things that you do?
Oh, we do. We have themed bedding, so no matter what age your children or adults, they all choose different themes. We can go Mickey, Minnie, princesses, Star Wars, Frozen, Cars, and we try to incorporate that throughout the camper. So not only will you have your pillows and blankets a theme, we try to do that throughout the camper. If we're doing Moana, which is my favorite, we'll do kind of the luau theme throughout the camper as well as outdoors. We'll have bubbles and stuff like that set up for the kids. So we try to make it as fun as possible for the families, for the children. I get a lot of priceless reactions from the children. I just had a family yesterday that they were 3 adults and they went crazy over the Disney decorations. So it's fun to see the reactions and it's fun to do.
Do the parents request what Disney decorations they want, or do you surprise them?
They request.
Okay.
A lot of times they'll give me hints. I'll do multiple if we have.
Like my son is 10 years old. He loves Star Wars, but I also have a daughter who loves Moana. You do
Exactly.
something like that. Very good.
Exactly.
Are you based here in Central Florida?
We're about an hour away in a nice little town called De Leon Springs.
Oh, okay, very good, yeah.
So, it gives us a room to we have a repair facility to service the campers, and it also gives us room to park all these campers as they come home.
How many campers do you have?
So with our new purchase that we're making, we'll be at 10.
10. Oh, okay. And on a good week, all 10 are rented out?
Yeah, of course, through Christmas, Halloween, the full capacity. And then there's weeks like this, it's a little bit slower, so we may have 6 out instead of the full.
That's actually good. What would you recommend to people who are looking to come for the slower time of year? What you consider to be the slower time of the year for you when they can?
I recommend if they don't have a preference on when they come. A lot of times I have Florida residents will come just for a weekend or a 3-day weekend, and I recommend August, September. It's generally slower, and it's also a little price is a little lower, and we have specials. We do run specials throughout the year, and that's one of our special times price-wise. I think the parks are a little bit slower, so I would say January, August, and September.
And people do book in advance. You said these people booked a year ago, you said? So they do.
Yep, we have actually some that are booked 2 years in advance.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, if people wanted to find you online, where would they be able to find you guys?
We are located on camperrentaladventures.com. That's our website, and we also are very active on Facebook.
Who isn't? Yeah, we love Facebook. Yeah, that's how we found you guys. For today. That's good. And they can find you. They can book up, like you said, 2 years in advance, as far ahead as they want. You've got 10 campers to choose from for now. Is the fleet growing? Or are you going to keep it at 10
We
for a
hope
while?
so. You know, I like to think I'm almost guilty that we have the happiest job. That we have such a great job. I almost feel guilty. I mean, we come to Disney every day. We set up campers every day. I mean,
Where do you keep them all?
it's just sometimes we'll bring them home. Sometimes if they're going in the next day, they may stay in the parking lot here, or we have another lot down the
Oh,
road.
that's true. Do you ever have all 10 at home at once?
Oh yeah.
Like maybe during the hurricane. During the
Oh,
hurricane,
yeah,
we had them
last
all
year.
at home.
We were staying at one of the cabins a couple days before it hit, and it was like, you could see people are packing up, time to get out of here. And I think when the hurricanes hit, everyone had to evacuate. So that was the one time you had
We had
all
one
10.
in, and that stayed till the very last minute. She wanted to finish her vacation before she left.
What was that like that day? Because you very rarely, I mean, you see people coming and going in here all the time, but you never see everybody going at once. That was probably unique. Not a lot of people checking in at that time.
No one was checking out.
that's
but,
true.
I mean, that's a one in.
Well, that's good. You can find Dawn and Ray online. We'll have it at the bottom of the screen there where people can see it. And give us one parting thought here. What are give us your 2 favorite moments here at Fort Wilderness in the years that you've come here?
You know, it's hard to say because every moment that you're at Disney is a great moment, and we appreciate that. We see that even in our friends and family and guests that come. They've waited a year, they've waited 2 years, they've saved up, they've rescheduled to be able to come, and it makes us even appreciate every moment here even more. When you see other people coming for a week and they just love it and they're having such a great time. We get to come every day. And every day we see something new, we meet new people, and the whole thing is just magical and wonderful for us.
That's the best part, is we get to meet a lot of wonderful families, and we make a lot of friends through this. And we have a lot of repeat business, so we get to see them every year. We get to see the kids growing up. So we hope it's continuing. We have a lot of snowbirds. Actually, we have some that come in for January, February, and March. And they rent a camper and they stay here and they enjoy it. And
What's the longest stretch you've had somebody rent from you?
2 months.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think this year they're going to go for the extra 2 weeks.
Is that one of your Christmas people?
They come up. They come in the second day, at January 2nd.
Oh, okay, January 2nd, okay. Which sometimes it could be 30 degrees here, sometimes it could be 80. You never know. That's the nice thing about having one of these, I suppose. Well, thank you very much for spending time with us. I know you got stuff to do. You got to keep setting this one up. You got to take another one down that's in another loop, you said. So you guys are pretty busy today.
Yes, we are.
Thanks for visiting with us.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
spending time with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's it for this month's episode of the Fort Wilderness Podcast. Thank you so much to everyone who has already contacted us through our Facebook page or our YouTube page and has expressed an interest on being on the show. Thank you so much, and for all your kind comments and your remarks on a YouTube page. It's been really great so far. One thing I want to mention is I said that we were going to try and release these the first day of every month, June 1st, July 1st, August 1st. The trouble with that is the movie titles don't come out until the 1st of each month. So on May 30th, we don't know what movie's coming out on June 1st, but on June 1st, we know what every movie is for the whole month. So somewhere within that first week, each episode should come out. So look for that at the first week of June, first week of July, etc., etc. Once again, thanks everybody for watching. Also, you can check us out on Podbean and on iTunes. And of course, please subscribe to our YouTube page. Give us your comments, your suggestions. Let us know if you want to be interviewed on the show. If you're going to be here over the summer, let us know. We've got some things booked ahead of time for October, November, and December actually for interviews. But if you're going to be here this summer, give us a little message here on Facebook or down below here on YouTube and let us know that you'd like to be on the show. We'd love to have you. Also, Dawn and Ray, who we interviewed earlier in this episode, has a big announcement for all of us. It's going to be on next month's episode, so make sure to tune in for that. Big announcement for them. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next month. Bye-bye.